Hi guys! So I've been thinking to make this video for quite a while now, I think over a year or even more, but I always found sort of excuses like why would I do that? Who am I? Like all this imposter syndrome. But so many of you, of my followers, ask me how did I started the photography and how did I manage to do it for so many years already? It's been, I think, even more than 10 years. I haven't calculated exactly. And I think it's very interesting also to know how people started, because usually when you ask, they don't really answer that much. Like not necessarily only photographers, but in general people, when you ask them how did they started and what did they do, what were the first steps, usually people just quite evasive about it. So I decided to tell my story and to explain how I started to be a photographer, even though I had zero connections, no money, no education in that field, and also zero support from anyone. I just had this like passion, I guess. But yeah, let's start from the beginning. So I was always quite a creative child. I started by drawing quite a lot, and I did also like acting and other things, singing. But then I think at the age of 16, I dropped off everything. So I kept kind of drawing every now and then, but I very quickly realized that so many people are better than me. So why would I continue? And then at some point, I bought myself a camera. I think it was Canon PowerShot, like very small camera. I don't remember the full name, but it was something not too expensive. And as many of photographers, I think, I started to take self-portraits. So my first pictures was all about me, and then I started to take pictures of my friends. I wasn't really into nature and things like that, maybe just a little bit, but my main focus was always on people. And yeah, and then I dropped it, I would say, because I was a teenager back then, so I was about, I think, 18, 19 years old, so I just did my high school, and my parents, they knew about the fact that I love arts and things like that, but for them, being a photographer or being in the art field wasn't like something possible, it was a hobby, so they haven't supported me at all. Hi, mom and dad. They do now. But back then, I was really by myself, and I moved to Paris by myself to actually study in Sorbonne, which is a very like known university, but it wasn't related to photography at all. So yeah, I dropped my passion, I guess, for the photography. And while I was doing the studies, I actually found a job, a photographer job. It was on the boat. So basically, clients would have a dinner there, and there was a concert, and I would take pictures of them. There were a few photographers. It's how I learned the first basis of photography. And also, I met quite a lot of people who were professional photographers, so they started to give me advices and things like that about how to use the cameras and everything in that field of techniques. But the thing is, I wasn't interested by that. So every time they would explain things to me, I would be like, yeah, well, yeah, I don't get it. For me, what was interesting is to find this moment in the expression of someone that was super interesting for me. So I wasn't at all understanding actually what I was doing, and I was really searching for that like unique moment, I would say. And so what I started to do more and more, I was on this website Flickr. I don't know, I think it still exists, but back then it was quite huge. So I was searching for images of different photographers, and I was really passionate about it. Actually, since I was even younger than that, I think I started to collect images of famous people on internet, in the magazines. I would cut them, the images, and like put them all together as a sort of scrapbook. So I think I was forming my inner eyes. I was searching for interesting images all the time. And so yeah, back to my work story. After two, I think, no, I worked for 1 year as a photographer on this boat in Paris. I started to take pictures again of people around me, friends, and yeah, very quickly I realized that I'm not that bad, and people around me were saying that, oh, you're really good at that, you should continue. But even my ex-boyfriend back then, I feel like he was saying it's just a passion and a hobby, so making money out of it, it's almost impossible. But it's not true. The thing is, what happened to me afterwards was that I went for 6 months, I think, in Greece, where I worked in a Club Med. It's basically this resort for families and couples and people who just come to the vacation, and they have all sorts of different activities there, and there are always photographers on this site. And I was among 6 photographers, I think. And it's when I really started to understand how the camera works and what should I do in order to make people comfortable, because the guys that I was working with, they were all very technical, and I was really bad with my camera. My camera wasn't good at all, as the camera were amazing, and they have like all these amazing portrait lenses, and I had just one camera, one lens. But many people would come back to me and order photo shoots, like private ones for their teenagers or for the family, and they were all saying the same thing, that I have something special in my images. So when I came back to Paris, I decided that I should really give it a try and continue doing this for a living. And while I was taking pictures of people around me, I understood that I really am interested to take pictures of artist people, musicians, actors, and people like that. And I do remember this story very vividly. I met this girl who was an actress at a party, and a few months later she contacted me saying that she would like for me to take pictures of her, because her agent never likes her images, so she wants to give it another try. And so yeah, I did a photo shoot for her. And then it's funny because a few days later the agent called me and said that she loved what I did with her, and that she would want me to work more with the other actors from her agency, etc., etc. So I started to shoot actors all the time. And then also I contacted this magazine, and I just dropped an email saying that I'm a photographer, and if you have any jobs for me, I would be super happy to help you with. And they sent me this amazing girl who was a blogger, and we did a photo shoot together. And then she said that she loved working with me so much that she would want to continue to do that on a regular basis, and that she will pay me. She wasn't like famous back then or anything, but she would pay me every time she would have a job. She would pay me like 50% of her salary. And yeah, we started like that. So we were working together all the time. Almost every week we would do photo shoots together. We would try to do something very creative. And then at the same time I was shooting all these actors. And so yeah, I think it started like that. It started really out of the blue, basically, because I didn't know anyone in the industry. I had no idea how it works. I had no idea who to contact. I had no idea, like, is it possible? Because also in France, it's kind of like important to finish like an artistic school. For example, if you're a photographer, it would be, for people, like, it's a sign that you're a good photographer because you did studies for that. And I didn't do any studies. And so, yeah, I think it was complicated to have this self-confidence knowing that I'm no one and I'm coming from nowhere. But still, it worked because I was doing what I wanted to do, and I was really passionate about it. And I met people by accident, but I don't know if it's an accident or it's sort of because when you do something that you love, I think destiny puts people on your way too. And yeah, it started all like that, actually. And then obviously more I shot people. Back then, like, bloggers just exploded, and there were so many of them searching for photographers, and there were much more less photographers back then too. So I would have almost every day like orders. So yeah, I made good money very quickly, and I was also working in a cabaret as a photographer too. So yeah, I've done quite a lot of things, and I think. So maybe it's not, I don't know how much people know me, and even though sometimes people know me, they always say that, oh, you're so confident and not shy or whatever. And the thing is, I'm terrified inside all the time. I'm someone very anxious. I have, since I'm a teenager, depression. I think I have a sort of autism too, because I feel very anxious around people, and I don't know how to express myself, and there are so many things in my brain that are wrong. But I think for me the most important thing were this idea to give something to people, and I knew that I was good with images and to catch these special moments. So I overcame all of the fears, I guess, and I can't say it was easy. It was really hard for me. Many times I cried before the photo shoots. I did a couple of weddings too, but I cried in the bathrooms during these weddings because for me it was too complicated to have that much energy around me. I'm someone pretty introverted, so everything was complicated. But I think when you have this passion, even though it's hard, you still do things because you want to share, basically. And it would happen to me, and I think I had also so many people on my way saying, oh, you can't do that if you don't have any connections, or you can't do this because you don't have education or money or whatever, or even like your family or friends who's saying, well, it's a hobby, but it can be your job. Don't listen to anyone. I promise you, never listen to anyone. If you have a passion inside of you, just go with it and don't ask yourself too many questions. Just do whatever you feel like and listen to the world and positive people around you. Because, for instance, the magazine that I contacted back then, I had no idea that it was so easy. Like, for me, it was, oh my God, if I contact a magazine, I need to be someone. Sometimes no. Sometimes they're just searching for new people to work with. And usually it's for free, obviously. So if they work with you once for free, twice for free, and then they see that what you give, it's really good and good quality, they just wanted to call you back, and then maybe at some point they will pay you. But yeah, usually when you start things like that, it's not paid. But then you can always say, especially if it's just one-on-one with someone, or it's your friends or family or whoever needs photo shoot, you can always say, I don't have like prices or whatever just yet because I'm a beginner, but you can always like kind of tip me. So it's a possibility, I guess. And then and just, I think, don't be afraid of what you kind of wish for. Just go with it. And as I said, I contacted this magazine because someone told me, oh, that your style of photography can match what they usually publish, so just contact them. And I think it's very important to listen to this kind of signs around you when someone is saying something like, oh, maybe you should contact this person or that person. And if you have a good feeling about it, you should definitely do that. And the same with actors. Don't be afraid to contact someone who is maybe more famous. Just write them a message saying that you love what they do and you would love to take pictures of them. Or it's not necessarily only applies to photography. It can be anything. And also, I know that the same way I contacted the photographers that I was admiring for like ages, and I was like, oh my God, this photographer is so amazing, and I for years I was just following them, and then at some point I just drop a message saying, oh, I love you, I love your work. You can say I love you too, but yeah, it's better to say I love your work, and just invite them for coffee, and most of the time they say yes, actually. So don't be afraid to try to find a way to go where you want to go, and maybe don't expect many things from the beginning, but just start doing something. I think it's the most important thing. And also all these things about the personalities that I was worried about, that I was so like socially awkward, and my French back then and English now are not perfect, because in English I have a mix of Russian and French accent, and it's terrible. Sometimes when I'm nervous, it's even more more strong. And back when I was in Paris, I had probably this like weird accent, maybe not really Russian one, because I kind of grew up in France since I was 16. But still, I had this accent, and I was super afraid to say something wrongly. And then actually no one cares. No one really listens to exact words or anything. So whatever you have in your head that stops you, anxiety, people, or anything, if you're driven by what you do and you just go out of your comfort zone more and more, it's how you start build your business or whatever you want to do with your life. So I think, yeah, I think there are no rules for any kind of job, especially if it's a creative job. You never know how it can start for you. So just listen to your heart and what do you have inside, because I had so many things that I've heard from people that I think I built so many fears inside of my head, and sometimes they weren't justified at all. So I think it's very important to just hear to your inner voice of what you really want and what you want to give to the world. I always knew that for me it was images in general and storytelling. So I do regret that I didn't do it faster and sooner. But I've been, yeah, a professional photographer for 10 years, meaning that I earn my life only thanks to the photography. Sometimes there are hard moments where I have zero clients and it's really terrifying. And sometimes everything like just flows and it's amazing. So yeah, it's up to you then, how do you manage your business. Some people are better in that, other people are really terrible like me. But then you can ask for help or like take some courses for how to develop your business and stuff like that, and always just continue learning and create all the time. If you are super shy and you want to be a photographer, for instance, just I don't know, go with someone you feel comfortable around. It can be your friend, it can be yourself, it can be your family or anyone, just so you know how it works. And more you do that, more you will feel confident, obviously, and more you'll get better at this. But there is no, the only thing that I can tell for sure about the rules, it's you have to shoot all the time. Like as a photographer, I know that you can't just wait for a month for one photo shoot. More you shoot, better it is, and more you shoot different people, better it is. Because if you shoot only models, it's amazing, it's very easy with them. But then once you have someone who is super uncomfortable in front of the camera, you have to, or like not necessarily super conventionally beautiful, you have to still find something interesting about the person and make them like themselves and feel comfortable in front of the camera. So all of this is on you. So more you shoot all sorts of people, more it will be like plus for you that you're not working only with models and only with people who are comfortable in front of the camera. And I think it's very interesting actually to work with people who are not comfortable in front of the camera, because it gives away sometimes even more like of the inside world of the person. So I really enjoy shooting people who never shot before, or teenagers, or someone who is really like self-conscious and awkward, because it's when you can catch something magical. So yeah, this was my story. I mean, there's probably so much more to say, but I'm just gonna go with this for now. If you have any questions, if you want me to make another video like that, or to explain maybe more details or things in my field of photography, or how do I find inspirations and things like that, just message me or leave a comment, and I'll be super happy to help and make more videos like that, because I would want people to follow their dreams and to stop thinking and overthinking should they go with their dreams or not. I think everyone should do what they want to do and not just settle for any basic job just for money. I think living your passion is amazing. Even if it's hard, it's still so valuable, and you can bring so much joy to people too. So this is one of the reasons why I decided to make this video too, because I think it's very important that people know that you can have all sorts of problems in your life mentally, and then zero help from outside, and you can still manage to do amazing things, and just dream and go with it. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I really wish for everyone to just pursue whatever they want to do with their lives and with their art, because it's super important. The art in the world we have, I think we don't realize how important it is to inspire people and to create beauty around us all the time, because there are so many bad things happening in the world, but beauty will save the world, as It's one of my favorite sayings, actually. So yeah, hopefully it will help you with your doubts or like being self-conscious, and as an example of just one person in the world who kind of made it. I mean, I'm still I'm still searching how to continue in this life, and I'm still not like perfect or anything. I still have no idea sometimes what I'm doing, but I'm very happy that I did it, and I'm still doing it, and even if it's hard, I think it's worth it, and I hope I can help you guys to understand that everything is possible, and just don't listen to anyone. Listen to your heart, to what you have inside, and what you want to share with the world. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.